Often we think that peace, quiet, stillness is something that somehow we have to figure out how to achieve, how to attain, how to get the body and the mind quiet and all the rest. And this thought, this idea, actually blurs our vision from what is natural. And so, of course, what is natural to you and to I, our natural states, the natural state of being, the natural state of awareness, could only be discovered, could only start to be experienced through the total relinquishing of all attempts to control, to change, to manufacture. And as soon as all that effort to change, control, and manufacture is let go of, even for a moment, you realize that there is a totally natural way of being, a totally natural state of being, which isn't really a state because it's not something that's being manufactured. It's not something that's being created in the mind. It's just what is. And from that space of what is, it can start to become much easier to see that everything else is actually something that's created. Everything else, even our entire sense of self, is something that is being manufactured and created in the mind. Because as soon as we let go of control, the mind stops creating this sense of self, this very familiar identity of a separate somebody, and it just sort of dissolves. You notice that your whole sense of who you are as an identity dissolves when you're not referring to thought anymore, because it's all in thought. And this observation has been made for thousands of years. And yet, the way that many people go about this, they see this observation, my whole sense of separate self is actually being manufactured in thought, which is duplicated in the body and turned into emotion and feeling. And therefore they go about, well, I must stop this thought. Because it's being manufactured in thought, I must stop this thought, which of course is what? It's just another thought, isn't it? It's thought saying, I must stop myself. It's a very clever ploy, right? But when we see, even the efforts not to think just create thinking, all the efforts not to think are creations of thought itself, then the whole process can just be seen. No effort to change it, to manipulate it, to make it be more or less or this or that. And you discover that actually this whole manufacturing of a false self needs one of two things. It needs resistance. That's where it gets its energy, right? It literally gets its energy from resistance or indulgence. Indulgence is actually, although it doesn't look like it, indulgence is actually the reverse of resistance, because it is a form of resistance. If we're indulging in something, it means we don't want something else, right? I'm indulging in this because I don't want that. So even indulgence is actually, it's resistance turned upside down. But it's actually the same thing. Because anytime we're moving away from something, we're moving towards something else, are we not? I don't want this, resistance, but I really want that, indulgence, simultaneously at the same time.